Hi everyone, welcome back to another flashlight video. This time Acebeam was kind enough to send out their new H35 headlamp. This headlamp is capable of 2600 lumens of output at up to 170 meters of throw, so pretty nice there. So again, to save time, went ahead and just unboxed everything to show you what comes with the headlamp here. So real quick, we'll go over the paperwork. So first off, you get this please read carefully document. This is basically all the warnings, things to look out for safety. So you want to make sure that you read through that to make sure you're safe. You do get the user manual, the H35 user manual. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this on screen for the moment. So if you want to pause the video or take a snapshot, you can. That way, if you want to read more through the manual, you can. It's there for you. All right, moving right along here. You get a product certification card. Okay. Next, you get their warranty card. Now, this does come with their Acebeam's 5-year warranty, which later on I'll put on the screen for you. This is a USB-C rechargeable headlamp, so you do get a USB-C cable. It is rather short, but just what you need to charge it, I guess. And you get 2 spare O-rings, so very nice. So let me move these things aside here, and let's take a closer look at the headlamp itself. Sorry about the autofocus there. All right, so the Acebeam H35. So let's take a quick look at the design. You got a magnetic tail there. We'll talk about that a little bit later here. The port for the USB-C is on this side. So we'll get to that here shortly. And of course, you do have the head strap. I have taken this outdoors, have tried. This head strap is very comfortable. It's made of a very nice material, so very nice there. So let's go ahead and go over the specs of the flashlight. I'll put some different things on screen as we go through it here. So the Acebeam H35 headlamp, this has 5 high efficiency LEDs. So you have 4 white here on the front, and then you have 1 red. This is a Cree XPE red LED capable of up to 200 lumens. So I think you guys are gonna be pretty impressed when we take it outdoors and just see how bright this red light is. I know some headlamps and flashlights, they have a red LED, but they're usually not as bright as this. This is probably one of the brightest ones I've seen so far. Now, I'll put this on the screen as well. This can be used for a wide range of uses. You got camping, fishing, exploration, climbing, wildlife observation, construction, all kinds of things. You could also use this for many household things too. So a wide range of uses. And I'll show you some pics of how you could use this around the house later on here in the video. So next thing, let's talk about, as you look at this is an all metal body, okay, this H35. So this is a lot of them, this will be plastic, not so great, but this is an all aluminum body. So this is, and I'll put this on screen here, the H35 is an all metal body made of A6061 T6 high quality aluminum alloy. So very nice that this whole thing is made of aluminum, so it's very sturdy. Also, this is IP68 waterproof and dustproof. So waterproof up to 2 meters or 6.5 feet for 30 minutes. And it is impact resistant up to 1.5 meters. So very nice, because accidents do happen. And I myself have dropped flashlights, unfortunately, many times. And unfortunately, sometimes I lost those flashlights because they couldn't take a small drop. So I'm really glad when they have the impact rating on there. Now, another thing about these unique designs, you can see here, and I'll put a picture on screen. They try to compare the H35 to like a off-road vehicle where they show the off-road lights and stuff. So I guess this is like a smaller version of what you might have on your off-road vehicle kind of thing, but obviously a much more portable, and you can carry it with you wherever you go. So you have 46 millimeters of light emitting surface and greater than 100 degrees of beam angle. So it gives you, this is not really a thrower, obviously. This is more of a flood type light. And same, you know, obviously if you had an off-road vehicle, you want more of a flood than a thrower, right? To be able to see everything around you. Now, nice thing is with all these different LEDs next to each other, it really helps reduce the shadows and uneven brightness of everything you're seeing. So in that flood beam, you don't get a lot of shadows. Like if you had one LED on a headlamp or just holding a flashlight, you're gonna get some shadowing because all the light's coming from that one spot or that one angle. And so with the multiple LEDs here in H35, you do get a very nice flood beam, and you get a very nice way of being able to see everything without all the shadows and things like this that you might have if you just had a single light source. So, and I think you'll see that outside the Beamshots later on here. Now, here's another nice thing I really like about this, and I'll put this on the screen too. This has a max runtime of 216 hours at 10 lumens, which is equivalent to 9 days. Now, why would I like this so much? So I have been off outdoors for over a month exploring the mountains when I was younger, and I actually did have an issue where my flashlight died on me after just a couple hours. And then I was walking with a 100-pound pack in the dark in the mountains at night. Not so fun. So I always think back, and that's one of the main things I got in this hobby for, was that instance that happened to me where I had a flashlight, it died in 30 minutes. Thank goodness we had other people in my group that had flashlights. So what I was doing is I would memorize the trail in front of me, 2 people in front of me, if the person had a flashlight, because, and this is no exaggeration, I was on a trail at the time that there was a sheer like 50 to 60 foot drop off on the right. So if I tripped and stumbled, I would literally fall right off the mountain. So talking about pretty scary. So ever since then, you know, a lot of people that get really excited about the high amounts of light output, you know, the thousands of lumens and all this stuff. I've always been a lot more interested, and I think it's much more useful as the lower modes because they run for longer. And if you're in an emergency, you lose power or something like this, the lower modes that last longer are probably going to be far more important than lighting up everything for a few minutes, right? So having 9 days of runtime at 10 lumens, in my experience, you can see pretty well around you. It's not going to be as bright as a couple hundred lumens, right, or 1,000 lumen, right? But for 9 days, you'll be able to see whatever you need to be able to walk around at night. Obviously, during the day, you wouldn't probably need it. But if you're in a cave or something, I mean, and you need it 9 days at 10 lumens, that's pretty good. So I really like that feature. Now here, I'll show you here, you got 2 buttons on this light, and I'll show it on the screen. It's probably a little better, but you can see them right here. So now I'll put it on screen here. You have what they call the intuitive dual button interface. And you have the power button, and then you have the function button, okay? And I think the way I have it, they actually have it reversed on the picture on the screen you're seeing. So pretty simple to operate. We'll go through that really quickly in the UI coming up here. You do have a battery power indicator. I always like this feature on flashlights. Some people don't. I really do. It's nice to be able to take a snapshot anytime you wish of where your battery is at so you don't get caught off guard. So real quick, we'll go through it. If the light on top of the power button is green, it's 30% or better on your battery. If it's solid red, you're between 20 and 30% in your battery. If it's slow flashing red, you're between 10 and 20% on your battery. And if it's a quick flashing red, you have less than 10% on your battery and probably need to replace or recharge the battery as soon as possible, especially if the light is very critical to what you're doing. So I like that. Some flashlights will only have it where it's on for 3 or 5 seconds to tell you what it is. I actually prefer the lights that show it the entire time for that very reason, because if I'm out doing something, I might be distracted time-wise, and it's really nice to take a really quick look at my light to see where I'm at. So very nice there. All right, so let's get to how you charge it. So here you have, it says USB Type-C. So to charge it, you're just going to take this cap off here to expose the USB-C charging port. Okay, hopefully you can see that there. I'll zoom in a little bit. Now here, when you're charging it, this will be red, means charging, and when it's fully charged, it's green. Let me zoom back out. Should have seen those pictures on the screen. So very nice. It's well hidden. Goes back on very smoothly. So very nice. All right, next thing, let's talk about the battery. And this is the battery side. Okay. Now this also has a magnetic cap on it, and so this is a very nice feature. I'm going to put some pictures here on the screen here showing the different uses. Now I talked about earlier about all the outdoor uses you could use for this, but a lot of indoor uses. So if you had an emergency, lost power, you could stick this to your refrigerator. You could use outside to change a tire in a car or to check the engine compartment in your car in an emergency. Just all kinds of different things where you can stick this to. And at first I was actually thinking that maybe the headlamp mount or whatever you want to call it there would be in the way of sticking this to things, right? That you might have to take the headlamp off of the bracket it's on in order to stick it to things, and found out it's not the case, as you can see in the pictures. So very nice. All right, so we're just going to remove this this cap here, and we'll take a look at the battery. All right, and the battery does want to stick to this because again, there is a magnet in here. And you do see that there is a insulator here to prevent the flashlight from operating in transit. So I'll put that aside. Hopefully my autofocus is cooperating. All right, inside you get a 3,800 milliamp hour battery. It's an 18650 battery. This battery does come with a flashlight, so very nice there. Let's see. I'll go ahead and put this battery back in. See how this threads on. It does thread in pretty good once you get it going, so very nice there. All right, this does also have a lock function and a memory function. So just FYI, the memory function. So there is no memory function for ultra low or the red light SOS, okay? So just to be clear on that. So anyway, let's go into the, oh, I'm having a brain fart here. Let's go into the outputs on this flashlight. So real quick, I'm going to put on screen the runtime graph. So on screen, you're seeing the runtime graph. So if you want to pause the video or take a snapshot, you can to look at that further. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the chart on the screen showing you the outputs and the different Lumen outputs and stuff. So I usually like to do my charts where I go left to right from lowest to highest, but they have it so it's highest to lowest. So we're going to do it that way because that's the way the chart is. So starting out in turbo now, we're talking about the white LEDs. You're looking at 2600 to 1100 lumens. So they say 60 seconds at 2600 lumens. Then it's going to drop to the next lowest mode for 9 minutes and then another lowest mode for 3 hours and 50 minutes. So this light will step down to protect itself from damage. So just FYI there. Now, this is usually always reliant on the ambient temperatures. So if you're in a really cold environment, you might get, in my experience, a longer run time on turbo or the higher modes. So it's just going to have, when it detects it's gotten to a certain temperature, that's when it's going to step down, in my experience. All right, high. Between 900, starting out 920 lumens and dropping down to 320 lumens. So they say 920 lumens for 20 minutes and then 320 lumens for 6 hours. So next, medium, 320 lumens to 110 lumens. You got 40 minutes to 20 hours. Low, 110 lumens for 22 hours. Pretty nice runtime, 110 lumens. That'll light up a lot too. And then we have that ultra low, 10 lumens for 216 hours, or which is equivalent to 9 days. So very nice. I like that, especially in my experience when I was younger and having my flashlight die on me in a pretty critical part of my hiking experience at night. So it was pretty scary back then. So that always stuck with me, as I said before. All right, the red LED. It's 200 lumens to 100 lumens. So you get a runtime of 10 minutes to 9.5 hours. And on when it's in the red SOS mode, 200 lumens to 50 lumens, 10 minutes to 44 hours. So pretty good run times also on the red LED. All right, max throw, this is going back to the white LEDs, 170 meters. And the max beam intensity is 7,225 candela. Now for the red LED, you get a max throw of 63 meters and a max intensity of 992 candela. So very, very nice. Overall, like I said, I have tried this out. I was very impressed. It is very comfortable. I've had some headlamps that are not very comfortable. So this was very nice. I like it has a head strap not only around the sides, but also the one that goes over top of your head. And again, these are all adjustable. So very nice there. All right, next let's get into the UI. Okay, the UI on the H35 headlamp here. So real quick, the power button is right here on my right as I have it facing me, which of course when you're wearing it, it'd be on your left. But anyway, to turn it on and off, you just click the button on, click the button off, pretty simple. Now to cycle through the modes in the white LEDs, you're gonna turn it on and then you're going to press the function button to cycle through the different modes, and it'll cycle through low, medium, and high and go back to low. And let's test if it says memory, like I said. So we'll put it in medium, we'll turn it off, turn it back on, goes right back to medium. We'll put it back to low. So very nice there. All right, so turbo mode from on or off. So it can be off or on. You're just gonna double tap or double click the power button. And that's 2600 lumens, so very, very bright. And if it is in there and you hit the function button, yeah, it's going to drop down and you can cycle through. Okay, so that's how you do that. Next thing, ultra low. So for ultra low, the 10 lumens, which runs for 9 days or 216 hours, just going to hold down the power button and then it comes on. So again, nine days of runtime with that. Pretty nice. We'll check that out in the Beamshots outside. And just a reminder, the ultra low mode does not have memory, so it will not memorize that mode. So just FYI there. All right, so next thing here, and you can from ultra low, if you have it in ultra low and then you hit the function button, you'll cycle back through the other modes, but it will not go back to ultra low. You'd have to turn it off and hold the button down to go back into that. All right, to switch from the white LEDs to the red LEDs, while the light is on, you're going to long press the function button, and then you're going to go to red, okay? And if you long press it again, you go back to the white LEDs. Now for the red SOS, from on or off, we're going to do it from off. You're going to triple click the power button. So this is a flash warning for you. So there's the SOS mode. And guys, I think you're going to really like the red LED when we go outside because it is very, very bright. All right, so to click out of that, you just hit the function, hit the power button to get out of that. You turn it back on, it's going to go to white LED. So again, if you want to switch back and forth, you just hold the function button down, pretty simple. And let's go back to the lowest mode here, make sure we're in the lowest mode. All right, real quick, the lock feature. So from off, you're going to long press the power button. It's going to enter ultra low, and then you're going to hold it until it flashes, okay? So hold down the power button. It's going to go into ultra low, and then it's going to flash. Now it's in lockout, okay? So you can't turn it on, right? All right, to reverse that, you're just going to long press the power button again until you see it flash. Now you're out of lockout mode, and it stayed on, so there you go. You're good to go again. All right, with all that said, hopefully you enjoyed all that. Let's take it outside. Let's see how the Acebeam H35 headlamp does in the dark. And I think you guys will be pretty impressed. All right, the sun has set here, and we are out here with the Acebeam H35 headlamp. And we're gonna start out in the low modes and work our way up to the high modes. So first we're gonna start out with that ultra low, which is 10 lumens. Now this 10 lumens, I was walking around for a while with this actually. It actually works really, really well. You can actually see quite a lot. So 10 lumens for that 216 hours and 9 days of runtime. Pretty awesome. So again, this is more of a floodlight. I'll aim the camera up a little bit. I don't know if you can quite see the bird bath. The bird bath is over there off the side. But it's pretty bright. So anyway, this is the ultra low mode. And so now we'll click it, so we'll go into the next mode, which is going to be low, 110 lumens. This is 110 lumens. And I got to aim down a little bit. I'll aim it out a little bit more. So pretty nice. You can see the bird bath there. The bird bath is probably 40 feet away from me. So this is 110 lumens. Now we're going to bump it up to medium. So this is 320 lumens. So you can see we're making that tree past the bird bath. Right, I don't know if you can see on the camera, sorry. The stump is out there. Can't quite see it yet, but can see quite a lot. So doing quite well. Let's bump it up again. Let's bump it to high, 920 lumens. So 920 lumens, I think you can just now see the stump out there. That stump is probably 100 feet away or more, so pretty good. So that's high, 920 lumens, 20 minutes on 920 lumens. It's just going to step down. So very nice. Let's go ahead and bump up to turbo, and I'll take a walk out there and see what we look like, and I'll probably step it down as I come back here. So let's bump it up to turbo. Yep, sorry. Hold on, let's try this again. I think I got to double press this. Oh, there we go. Sorry, hit the wrong button. I got to double tap the power button. So this is turbo. This is 2600 lumens. So Okay, hopefully you saw that. Sorry about the light on the side of the shed there. It's kind of hard to turn that one off. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the red light on, and go ahead and see what that looks like. I'll take a walk out there. So, wow, 200 lumens, very, very bright. I mean, I can see the stump all the way out there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you can see the stump out there. So I think this has 63 meters of throw, if I remember correctly, the red. So let me walk out there again. All right, so that's the Acebeam H35. Hopefully you got a good idea what it looks like out in the dark. I gotta admit, it's a very comfortable headlamp to wear. I like all the modes, especially the ultra low mode at 10 lumens. I'm on 10 lumens right now. It's plenty to see around and walk around okay, to see everything without tripping or stumbling. And again, the long run time, pretty awesome. And I really like the multiple LEDs on this headlamp. As like I said, you have less of the shadowing. Like if you just had one light, you'd have a little bit more shadowing on objects and things. So this is a really nice wide flood beam on the H35. So a very, very useful headlamp. And so I've come to appreciate headlamps a lot more as I go forward in time here. They are so useful. I use them a lot more now than I did before. For many different things, just walking around, going outside, having to do things, take the trash outside, work on the car, walk around the house without trying to disturb anyone too much. And again, this ultra low mode for 10 lumens. If you want light discipline, if you're in a camping environment or you don't want to disturb too many people, it's a pretty nice feature to have. That red LED, wow, 200 lumens, that's pretty impressive. It's probably the brightest red LED light I've seen or have, especially for a headlamp. So pretty impressive. I want to say again, thank you to Acebeam for sending me out the H35 to show on this video for you guys to check out. And if there's any links or coupons, they'll be in the description below. And so you guys, thank you for joining me for another video. You guys take care and happy Lumen.
Darling, I've been tempted by the darkness.